Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing a brand new shifter into the Ranger. Just showed up in the mail from MGW, a pretty cool shifter. They make custom shifters for all sorts of stuff, but a good one they make is for the S550 Mustang with the MT82 transmission. And as far as I can tell, they're the only one on the market that makes a custom length shifter for these MT82 transmissions for the Mustangs, for people doing engine swaps. So it gets it closer to the transmission because the factory one sits back pretty far behind it. And we'll go over and take a look at it and show you what we got. So this is the guy right here, close up here, made in USA, and it's their MT82 conversion. So this one, they list the standard ones on their website. You can order out the website. This one you have to call in special order, and they have two different lengths. I'll have to put in which length this was, but they have one that's closer to the transmission than this. This was their closer than factory, but it was the middle of the road, I guess you'd call it, between factory and their closest one. But I kind of did some measuring, sitting in the seat in here, figuring out where I wanted it, all sorts of stuff, and take a look here at the factory one. How to line it up. If it's not too dark in here for you to see. Anyway, theirs would have been kind of where the factory one was, which would have been way too far back for me. And we can get this guy here. Again, hopefully it's not too dark, but anyway, you can kind of see that's a bit farther forward. So we'll take this back out and kind of go over some of the features. So, what's so special about this except for that it's cool looking and expensive? This one eliminates a lot of the problems with the MT82 with the shifting and stuff, because the factory shifter, it's supported back here onto the body, and there's a lot of flex. So what they did here is it's completely isolated onto the transmission. You got these fingers that kind of go down and brace itself against the transmission, so there's nothing going back into the body, and this isn't flexing back and forth causing you to miss a shift. It's all billet aluminum. It looks like it has a better reverse lockout. They have videos on their website for installation and stuff like that, and instructions, and kind of show you what's going on. But right now, I got to mock it up into, I'll just kind of set it down on the floor, and got to clearance the floor plan more, got to cut it out a little bit more. So we'll get that going, and it looks like it'd be pretty easy to install. Look at the instructions and stuff. Since mine, I mean, it might be a little bit harder in a Mustang, but I'm going to have quite a bit of access up top. So we'll get that installed. Like a glove. So I got the shifter all installed. Put a link in the description of the instruction video from their website. It would have been nice if they actually included paper instructions, but it wasn't too bad. And it fits in here pretty nice. Did a little more trimming around here. Kind of, it's nice tight shift, and then you have to push down and over for a reverse. But it'll probably be smoother once it's actually moving, well, running, that is, and then we'll have to figure out, I think I might do a different shift knob. That's the factory Mustang, and this was the factory boot and stuff, so we'll probably try to incorporate that, but we'll also see what other shift knobs I can get. It's just a standard thread. They sell shift knobs on the website, but wasn't quite ready to buy one yet. Wanted to see what the factory one looked like. It's not bad, but I guess my only thing is this was part of the reverse lockout. I don't exactly remember, but I think you lifted up on it, and that allowed you to get into reverse, and it kind of went up inside of that ball, but when it's all on here, it doesn't really fit right. So anyway, so I mean, it's right towards the front of the seat here, so it's my arm's in a nice comfortable position. It would be nice if it was a little bit higher. Of course, in the car, your seat sits down lower and stuff like that, so it's up higher. Can always put like some sort of extension on it, way up here. Anyway, so we'll see how it goes. Definitely an improvement over the factory shifter, and the fact that it is closer up here is a lot nicer. It's more ergonomic than being back here and your arm hitting the seat when you're trying to shift. So anyway, got that done. Eventually we will probably work on some sort of shield around this. Nothing too fancy, just kind of something that kind of easily comes up and over, and then tying a shift boot. And then back here we'll be doing our handbrake. Well, sitting right there, waiting on a bracket, and then some more different style here. This was cut out for a 3/4 inch tube, but I have some 1 inch that feels better, so getting that redone with 1 inch and then a bracket so that it kind of sits right in there. Got the handbrake installed here with the bracket that I designed. Turned out pretty good. Raises it up to a nice level position and gives us plenty of room for our handle to install. Sorry if my hand gestures seem a little bit off here. I'm actually doing a voiceover because it's testing out a new microphone with the GoPro, and of course my audio did not work. So here's the tube. It's not exactly 1 inch. It's a little under that, but this is a long piece I had laying around here. Gonna cut down a bit, but it'll end up bending down. We'll probably do some pie cuts down and then straight forward and figure out something for a nice grip on the handle there. And then eventually we'll have to get some more plumbing done. Plumbing in with a manual shut-off. That'll be important for some things I want to do with the truck. But anyway, manual shut-off, and then into the handbrake there, and then out to the rear. So now that's done, we'll move over here to the drive shaft. Finally got that in. The local shop that I called up was having some issues, so I decided to look elsewhere, and I went with Tom Wood's Custom Drive Shafts. Definitely pleased with the service there. I think I called them like a Tuesday. They said they were out of some material and it'd probably be another week. But next thing I know, the following week it's getting made, and then it shows up to my door on a Friday. So definitely pleased with that. I'm sure you get overnight shipping if you need it, but I was definitely in no rush on this. So they were concerned about this being a two-part drive shaft. Usually they said the correct way to do that is to balance them together. And I understand that that is probably the best way, but one, I already have the front piece made. It's not like I'm going to have them make the front piece. And then two, the way that front coupler is onto that transmission, I don't think any of these drive shaft shops really can make that or put that into their balancing machine. So just going to have to go with it. Hopefully it's balanced out pretty good. This is a cool piece. It's a 1350 U-joint flange for a Ford 8.8. Got that off of Amazon. It's actually a Spicer part, so I'll put a link in the description. Fits perfectly, accepts the 1350 U-joints, and goes right on the flange onto the 8.8, so that'll be pretty good. Also, as you can see here, I finished up the exhaust going out the back here. I would like to go with a side-by-side, more conventional, but just kind of trying to keep that spare tire in there and room and stuff like that. Had to go with a vertical, kind of call it a Harley style. But besides the aesthetics of actually, staring at it a lot, it's perfectly functional how it is. So here are both drive shafts side by side. The front section, factory to the Mustang, and the part that got manufactured. Now you can see here this front flange is kind of unique. It's kind of, I think, becoming more standard in the industry, but for right now it's kind of a new thing where it doesn't really have a U-joint. It's just that flex joint. It's two solid flanges and all in line with the transmission to the carrier bearing there. So now we're just going to clean up this drive shaft, get all the rust off and paint. I didn't really want a rusty dry shaft coupled up to a nice painted dry shaft. So figure I'd clean it all up, shoot some paint on there, and make it all look like a quality piece. So finally got the dry shaft installed here and got that front section painted to match the rear so it all looks like a brand new piece. Plenty of travel here as it should. Still, it's not at ride height, so that'll collapse a little bit more once we get some weight on the back. But it looks like it's going to all work, and happy with that. So that's it for this episode. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. We got plenty more coming. Probably next episode we're going to be working on the instrument cluster and putting in some custom gauges and getting some stuff wired in for that. So see you next time.